Welcome to Gail Scott Key's Entertainment Now, brought to you in part by Isola, inspired women's footwear. Isola's collections are perfectly suited to discerning women seeking exquisite design. Visit the website at isolashoes.com, I-S-O-L-A shoes.com. We'll be right back with your host and her guest right after this from Isola. Isola is a luxe collection of elegant, distinctive footwear for the modern woman. Inspired by the finest things in life with intricate details, lavish materials, and sumptuous comfort. Isola's refined artistry and impeccable styling are perfectly suited to the discerning woman who knows that exquisite doesn't have to mean extravagant. Visit our website at isolashoes.com, I-S-O-L-A shoes.com.
Hello, and thank you so much for tuning into my show on our brand new online radio station, Tap the Mic Radio Network. You can tune into my show every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and again on Saturdays at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific on Tap the Mic Radio blogtalk.com. You can also listen to previously recorded shows on YouTube, and if you want to be in the know of all of the fabulous guests that I will have appearing on the show with me, then I invite you to become a Facebook fan of the show. So while you're already there in the chat room, let your fingers do the walking, and I, of course, will friend you back. I have an amazing show lined up for you. I have been excited about this all week, folks. You are not going to believe this. In just a few, I am going to be joined with the former mentor and producer of the late iconic musician Prince, Pepe Willie. Willie introduces prolific artist who also goes by a single name, Gabriel. Gabriel, who is currently working on the creation of his new CD under Willie, and both will be discussing how the partnership came to fruition. Also, later in the show, I'll be speaking with the original lead singer of Lakeside, Ricky Abernathy. Remember him? Of course you do. Well, he'll be coming out with a solo CD, and also we'll be talking about his show, A Celebration of Legends. So get comfortable, folks, because I am going to be bringing it to you right now. As I wanted to tell you in the news, I'm sure you all heard, Paisley Park, the home and recording studio of Prince, it opened its doors to the public. And who was there to celebrate along with the nation, proclaiming it Prince Day, is a former mentor and producer, Pepe Willie. Now, in 1975, Pepe Willie, also, who is a nephew of Clarence Collins, the founding member of Little Anthony and the Imperials, was also the husband of Prince's cousin Chantel. He formed the band 94 East after moving to Minneapolis the year before. Now, the band featured a young Prince giving his first studio experience. And Willie is currently producing 94 East's new CD, as well as several up-and-coming artists, and one of them, who Willie is managing, is also on the line with us. And he's playing on the keyboards. It's songwriter, vocalist, and musician who goes by the name Gabriel. And Gabriel is a prolific songwriter and a ghostwriter for many of the major, most prominent talents, who is currently working on a new CD under the management of Willie. And they both are joining me now, if you didn't hear. Welcome to the show so much, Pepe, Willie, and Gabriel. Thank you both for joining me.
Hi, Gail.
All right,
nice meeting you.
Very nice meeting you. Thank you so much. I am very honored to have you both. And I wanted to start with you, Pepe, if I could. It looks like all the stars came out in celebration for him as they proclaimed that for Prince Day. How that atmosphere must have been really, really emotional for you.
Yeah, you know, it's pretty touching, too, because you have all of these great stars coming out, you know, Shaka Khan and Stevie Wonder. And, you know, Stevie, I used to go to the store for him back in the day at the Brooklyn Fox Theater when I was 15. But, you know, the Prince whole thing was just, it's just a mind blower, you know, to all of us here in Minnesota and then plus, you know, around the world. And I'm still, I guess, in some type of mourning, you know, for him and everything. Sure. And I want to do something myself, you know, to honor, you know, his life. You know, I know a lot of people are doing things. Sheila E's doing something coming up also. But I want to do something special going back to the day and remembering the times when we used to joke, like Gabriel playing on the piano and play little things like that. And I want to remember those days because those were really great. Yeah.
Absolutely, and as I said, the guest that I have coming up after, who's the lead singer of Lakeside, Ricky Abernathy, he's been doing a show, Celebration of Legends, and he plans on adding Prince to that venue as well, doing some of the performances of his music. So it's, again, my deepest condolences. But I know that you have also grown up in the music industry as, again, you're the nephew of Clarence Collins, and he was a founding member of Little Anthony and the Imperials. And I say that because as we lead up to a prolific artist, Gabriel, who is also here, and we're going to be talking about his new CD that he's working with you on. You actually got your start, Pepe, when you also were able to hang out with the Temptations, the Supremes, Chubby Checker, Marvin Gaye, and so many more. So you already you were groomed for your place in the music industry. Would that be fair to say?
Oh, absolutely. Ever since I was like 14 years old. I remember when I was 10, my uncle was 17, and he had the #1 record in the country, Tears on My Pillow. And I was just like, wow. I mean, it was just amazing. And I remember the first shows that I went with him to the Brooklyn Fox Theater that Murray Decay used to give all the time. He preceded Alan Freed. And seen audiences wrapped around the corner. People were sleeping there overnight just to get in to see the whole Motown review, and including outsiders like Patti LaBelle and the Bluebells and Dionne Warwick and Wayne Newton and Timmy Euro and Dusty Springfield, Jay and the Americans, all of those guys. Besides the Temptations, Marvin Gaye, Martha and the Vandellas, Four Tops, The Miracles, Stevie Wonder, Mary Wells. I mean, everybody was there. And I used to run up and down the stairs going to the store for them, getting them sandwiches and things like that. And then I learned backstage business. I just learned how everything was running. I used to tell them when the half an hour was in before the show to make sure that everybody was getting ready because they knew when their time slot was up, when they had to come on, they would ask, well, who's on? Well, the Temps are on now. Okay, well, we got 3 more acts before we go on, And then I used to and then hanging out in the dressing rooms with my uncle's group, Little Anthony and Imperials, who are Rock and Roll Hall of Famers, y'all. They in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They used to ask me, they said, well, go down to the Four Tops room and find out what colors they're wearing, So then I go down to the Tops room, and I said, the Imperials want to know, what are you guys wearing? We're going to wear blue. And we go, okay. I go right back upstairs. I said, the Tops are wearing blue. And they would go like, okay, we're going to kill them with the red, man, And that was the only competition that you had during that time. I mean, they tried to blow each other up on stage, man, and that was the key, But after that, we all got together backstage, in the hallways, outside the dressing room, singing gospel songs. Everybody was together, Yeah, that's a good old days. That's where I learned all my stuff from.
Well,
and then
you
seeing all of those acts on the same show. See, you don't see that anymore. You don't see anything like that. But to see all of those acts on the same show was great. So it was quite an experience.
I love those trips down memory lane because, even though I was born in the late 60s, I know hearing all that music, and it's developed. It's actually, created the pathway for the artists of today. And the artist that we have with you is Gabriel. And Gabriel, how are you?
I'm hanging in there.
Come on.
I don't think I have no stories like that to tell, but I got a little hot sauce.
Oh, no.
No,
I got a guitar named Hot Sauce.
Listen. I see how this interview is gonna be.
Pep's from Minnesota, so he understands this Minnesota comedy. He's used to this.
Yes, I love it. Well, listen, you yourself actually have quite the resume because you share the same stage with the great B.B. King and played at the world-famous Apollo Theater. So that's nothing to sneeze at, my friend.
Well, yeah, thank you.
Uh-huh. So, see, he was going to fly that away. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, the B.B. King thing was, I was little. I was about 12 and 10, and where I grew up, it was a tourist attraction. So, you know, the greats would come in, B.B. King and a few others, and, I started playing guitar. And he looked at me. He only gave me one conversation, so he played a few notes. And he asked me what I thought about his playing. And, of course, that's B.B. King. I'm not going to answer that question. You're great, man. And he goes, well, I can't play 20 notes in the matter of 10 seconds like Eddie Van Halen. But I can take these 3 and make them sound just as good. And actually, he would say, these 3 notes are a lot harder to do. So I learned at a young age to take it serious. I grew up to the blues down south.
Right on.
Yes, and that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm very curious. See how he's going to be. That's okay. That's all right. Because I also see you have also written and recorded over 2,000 songs, and you're continuing on because you do have a CD that is going to be released. And Pepe Willie is also your manager. And I'm interested, as well as the listeners who are tuning in, and in case you just joined us, you are listening to Gail Scott Key's Entertainment Now on Tap the Mic Radio Network. And I am joined by singer-songwriter, producer, and manager Pepe Willie, along with singer-songwriter Gabriel, who both of you now, with the CD that's coming out, Gabriel, tell us about how you and Pepe came to meet one another and why this sounds like a juicy one. Come on, tell it.
I had a medicine woman tell me, this is no joke story. I had a medicine woman tell me that I was going to meet him and he was going to be the one to take me the rest of the way. Lo and behold, he knew someone that I knew that we didn't know we knew the same person, and his name was Pete Warner, who actually had a few hits with Rainey Davis. I think Mariah Carey covered, I forget the name of the song. I feel so bad, the name of it. But that started, and then one thing led to another. Actually, Pep didn't want to work with me. He goes, listen, man, I like you. I want you to come do my show, and that's all I want to know about you.
No, you know what happened.
And I said, Pep, man.
I was asleep, man, and him and Pete called me up in the middle of the night.
And
Pete said, Pep, you got to hear this guy. You got to hear him. I go like, oh, man. I said, okay.
I ain't hear no fool. I'm sleeping.
Right, he gets...
I mean, Prince used to do this to me. You think I want to go through this again?
And Gabriel started doing what he's doing right now with me on the phone, and I was half asleep. But it was cool, though. It was cool.
That's.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead. Because I was just going to say, I feel your pain, Pepe. Because I've adopted you both. Just so you know, I get these calls.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm a prankster. I've learned. It's just my nature. But the part that means the most is the medicine woman doesn't know Pep and doesn't know Pete. She told me this was going to happen before I knew Pete. So I didn't know Pete knew Pep. So that's the crazy part.
Yeah, when he told me that story, I was like, oh, wow. I said, yeah, this is it.
Isn't that amazing? It's amazing how you come together, and even by one person who gives you a circumstance like that, because sometimes you could be like, oh, yeah, whatever. But you listen to her, Gabriel, and also you introduce yourself to
songs, and it was over then. It was over because, see, in Gabriel's songs, what I noticed is he puts his personality and his character into those songs. And the lyrics are very emotional. He makes the words come alive when he's singing lyrics. You have a lot of people out there can sing, and it may sound good, but it just don't feel good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But people go and buy him anyway. But Gabriel, he has something else. He has that extra added attraction, in his songs and in his lyrics and the way that he enunciates and getting out the message on what he wants to say. He has that desire. He has that same thing. And that, everybody calls it the it factor or whatever it is. But it's the same thing that I noticed in Prince when I first started working with him. He's not tied into a box. You know, he writes all types of songs and stuff. He can do all types of songs. So that means you have a bigger fan base. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and that's what I liked about Gabriel and the way that he distributes his emotions and basic character and personality through his music.
Well, we're going to distribute some more information about the CD that both Gabriel and Pepe are working on, so don't go anywhere because we'll be returning back and talking more about that in just a minute on Gail Scott Key's Entertainment Now on the brand new Tap the Mic Radio Network.
Can I talk to you for a second?
We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I hear you. Your voice carries.
Get it.
You're listening to Tap the Mic Radio Network.
Inspired women's footwear from Isola. Isola is a luxe collection of elegant, distinctive footwear for the modern woman, inspired by the finest things in life with intricate details, lavish materials, and sumptuous comfort. Isola's refined artistry and impeccable styling are perfectly suited to the discerning woman who knows that exquisite doesn't have to mean extravagant. Isola is spelled with an I, and the style of your life in sandals, wedges, heels, flats, pumps, or boots, with all styles on sale now at isolashoes.com. Look for Isola Shoes on Facebook, Twitter, or Pinterest. And of course, isolashoes.com. That's ISOLA shoes.com. isolashoes.com.
Promo, baby.
Welcome back to Gail Scott Key's Entertainment Now on Tap the Mic Radio Network. And those two voices that you are hearing, they are singer-songwriter, producer, manager Pepe Willie, along with singer-songwriter Gabriel. I can give you two a moment. Gabriel's like, I didn't get a compliment. I never get a compliment. He complimented you. I heard it.
Well,
you heard it.
you have to, I mean,
do you know how big that is coming from a legend like Pep?
He's always sending me songs, and I never get the time to sit down and talk with him about what I think about his music and how he is. So this is a great time to do that because I have the time. Most of the time I'm in the studio, I'm doing something else, producing or whatever. And he's like Prince, man. He's always bugging me, man. Hey, man, come on. Which is cool because I like that. And that's another trait that Prince liked too, because you can call Prince up on the phone and he wouldn't even answer you. But if you kept calling him for like 2 or 3 months, then he'd answer you because he says you really want it. You know what I'm saying? Now I know that what you really want.
Pepe. Would Prince respond to a text? Would he respond to a text? Because when I text Gabriel...
See, thank you.
Listen, oh my goodness, I read the riot act. I was like, you know something? I am so sorry because I have my producer who also is going to take this and just make it magic. And I would text him because I'm in between loading up different shows and booking. And he's like, well, I'm in the studio, so I want you to call me. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. Now you're mine. Now you are mine. So you are away from the studio, or you're probably still in the studio, and you have this new CD coming up. So, gentlemen, please tell me about this CD and what the listeners can anticipate about when it's coming out and the types of music. Because I've also got I heard a little bit about of Gabriel's music, and you are amazing, Gabriel. I have to agree with that. You really are. You're going to be award-winning. I'm going to say that right now.
I'm not lying. I told you.
Exactly. I got you, Pepe. I got you. He is going to be award-winning. So if you can share,
Come on,
about...
man.
All I can say is that...
yes.
See, I'm bad with this stuff. All I can say is I appreciate. I appreciate that Pep has taken an interest in me, and believes in me, and I think the album will. I just wanted to best show the world, but the most important thing is being Native American, and that we don't really have a voice. He's allowing me to, with my mission statement through the album, to make it so that we're known. That's the biggest reason for what I'm doing. I'm not really concerned with being famous. I believe if you're good at what you do, the money's going to come. I want to try to change things for all my indigenous people in the United States, as well as other people who may be going through certain things that are similar.
Absolutely. And that's what makes you special, brother. That's what makes you.
Oh, you're going to get on stage with that guitar. That's all I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I have to say.
But I think that this CD is going to be like what he said, more or less. He has something to say, and people are going to listen, because he's just not talking, off the top of his head. He's talking from his heart and singing from his heart, and that's what people are going to pick up, and he's going to build a lot of fans quickly. I remember that I had said to Prince, I says, there are going to be artists out there that's been there for like 5-10 years that you're going to totally leap over. You're going to leap over these people, and they're going to be jealous, I'm sorry to say, but that's the type of artist that you are, and that's where I put Gabriel in that same category. He's going to leap over a lot of artists that has been working for a lot of years because he has that artistic value, you know what I'm saying? He has that, in him.
You make a great point, Pepe, because there's two sides. I also agree because I hear it, but most of all, true artists like that, like Prince, who had a vision, very humble, and it seems that the humble artists are the ones who are more open to their gift, but they're very, very shy. They don't want to toot their own horns, and they are the ones that you find on YouTube. Let's face it, everybody wants to be a star, so they go on YouTube and they post up, all of their videos and stuff, but they lose the essence that, Pepe, you talked about before, which is that it factor, because there's too many who can duplicate.
Right. It's very
easy.
Go ahead.
Yes. No. I was just going to say, that's going to be something that you see, and that's why I mentioned in the beginning where you were already given you were groomed for this because you saw the real artist giving it the heart and soul, and you know what they had to do. Gabriel's always recording. From me, meeting him over the phone and whenever we've been talking, I know he's always in the studio, and that's a very dedicated, humble artist.
Absolutely.
We're going to be playing one of the songs from the CD, and I know that my producer is going to be putting that in. So, yeah, that's right. Are you scared now? You shouldn't be, because it's going to be fabulous, and I am very, very excited. Now, when is the launch of the CD and the name of the CD?
I
don't know the name of it. That's Gabriel's,
Yeah. I have no idea either. The whole thing is what we're doing now is we're just compiling all the songs, and I'll give them over to Pep, and he's actually got some pretty big name people that will mix it and master it. I don't know if I can mention. I'll let him do that.
You can mention
Dr. Fink, who was Prince's keyboard player, he mixed Purple Rain, and they actually sold 18 million. He won a Grammy for that. So, like, for me, this is all really strange for me, and I'll explain why. Because before I met Pep, I was really young. I sent a cassette when they had cassettes back in the day, I sent it out there. I had about 10 tape recorders. I didn't have no studio. So I would record my drums with my voice on one.
Yeah.
Then I would play another cassette, put the tape in there, and sing, and now you'd have two. And then on that tape, I put another one, and so on and so on. So I sent it to somebody. Someone called me. Might have been a short person. I didn't believe it was the short person, so I hung up on him.
Oh, my God.
I hung up on him twice because someone was messing with me. And then Kirk Johnson called me and he said, listen, if you want to do what you got to do, get in your car and drive here. So I actually had a chance to hang out with that whole crew, Michael Bland and the whole New Power Generation. Rosie Gaines is a really good friend of mine. So I got to kind of do what Pep did. And as he watched, all I did was, they didn't really tell me, they didn't really say, do this, they just said, sit and watch.
Right.
Wow.
And then I learned it all. I watched it all happen, and really, and then I guess Pep will have somebody who I guess masters Stevie Wonder stuff. So for me, I'm just...
Danny Leaks out of Chicago. He does all my mastering for me.
Oh, yeah.
And he does sound for Stevie Wonder when he's on the road. Yeah.
It's really all I'm doing is recording the music and, and giving it
Putting your soul
Pep.
in that, brother.
And, for me, too, I want people to know Pep, because a lot of people that talk about the dude, they try to make it like it's other people that was helping him out. Some other guy, I can't remember his name, but when I had mentioned Pep was working with him, they go, oh, no, it was really, Hugh something. I said, no. So not a lot of people, and Pep's just as humble, so don't let him fool you. So through me, I'm proud of that. I want to say, hey, this dude is a lot more important to the music scene than any of you know, because most of you don't know. Right. I'm going to make sure that they know.
Oh, believe me, I know.
All in all, I love it, man. I love you for it. I'm writing a book right now, and it's called From Brooklyn to Minneapolis. I'm halfway done with it, and I've already scheduled a, what do they call it?
Book signing?
I got a movie deal working with the same producers from the Dallas Buyers Club. I talked to them one day, and they came to Minneapolis. We had 6 meetings already, and we're going to do a film based on my book when I'm finished. So the word to get out. I like to see other people, have success before me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to get mine, but I just want to, do what I can, the knowledge that I have to push other people out there, so that they have a chance. I don't want them to make mistakes. I try to keep them away from the big mistakes, because it can set you back 5 years. And I hand carried Prince through the music industry. You know what I mean? I know that there was other people who got him signed and everything, and I worked with those people, after he got signed, and in marketing and promotion and doing things like that. But other than that, Prince only listened to me, and he respected everything that I said, and that's where the key is, because he avoided a lot of pitfalls because of that, so.
Right. Well, see, that's the amazing part about knowing someone like you, and unfortunately, our time has wound down, and before we go, I know. You know what that means.
Half an hour.
What that means. Pepe has to come back to talk about the book, and you have to come back to talk about the release of your CD. I know. Believe me, my life
help us.
It's like flash. What? I heard that. But I want to thank you both again. It has been such a pleasure talking with producer-manager Pepe Willie, and of course singer-songwriter Gabriel. We're going to be looking for great things on the horizon. It has been an extreme honor for both of you. And real quick, I know, Gabriel, you have some of your videos out on YouTube, but where folks can also check you out, if you both can leave us some places, I know, for on the website, so we can tune in and make sure that I send all of the listeners and your fans there as well. Where can they go to check you out?
Well, the first thing about that is we got her name is Sherry Hefner. She's going to be taking care of all of the media fan club. I will give you her email if people want to. They can actually email the email I gave you. Secondly, I don't put my music on YouTube because, I want it to be fresh. I don't want people to. Only song that I have is the one you heard. Other than that, I'm saving it. I don't want people to steal stuff or bite on stuff. So it will come out when Pep is ready. But the hit.
Previously recorded songs. Yeah, not your CD now, but the previously recorded. So,
there's one on there, but I don't do that. Yeah.
PepeMusic.com. I'm on CD Baby. I'm on iTunes. I'm on every download site.
Go ahead, Pep. Sing us a little something. Come on.
You know what I'm saying? We're everywhere. All you got to do is put the name 94 East in there, and you'll find us.
Wonderful. Yeah. Pepe, Gabriel, thank you so much for joining me on the show. It has been an honor.
Yes, thank you, Gail, for having us.
It has been a pleasure. It is my honor, and I definitely want to have you guys back, and I want you guys to stick around and not go anywhere, because in just a few, I will be joined by the original lead singer of Lakeside, Ricky Abernathy, is going to be coming out and joining me in just a few, so please don't go anywhere.
Who's talking to you?
The voices inside my head.
You're listening to Tap the Mic Radio Network.
Isola is a luxe collection of elegant, distinctive footwear for the modern woman. Inspired by the finest things in life with intricate details, lavish materials, and sumptuous comfort. Isola's refined artistry and impeccable styling are perfectly suited to the discerning woman who knows that exquisite doesn't have to mean extravagant. Visit our website at isolashoes.com, ISOLA shoes.com.
Coming up, he's the lead original singer of Lakeside, Ricky Abernathy. I cannot wait to be speaking with him in just a minute on Gail Scott Key's Entertainment Now on the brand new Tap the Mic Radio Network.
The time is now to see an all-new, fresh look at paranormal research. Join the Search Existence Unknown TSP files on Paranormal Reality TV and see what the guys of TSP are up to. With exciting new experiments and outside-of-the-box thinking, the show will truly bring a fresh new look, only on Roku's Paranormal Reality TV channel. For more information, go to www.tspnorthernkentucky.com or www.paranormalreality.tv.
Over there, that ain't no job. It's live, it's all the way live. Don't even have to walk, don't even have to drive. Just slide, slip it, slide. Just forget about the troubles in your 9 to 5 and just sail on. That's what you do, just sail on.
Thank you so much for tuning in to my show on our brand new online radio station, Tap the Mic Radio Network. You can tune into my show every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Pacific, and again on Saturdays at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific on tapthemicradioblogtalk.com. You can also listen to previously recorded shows on YouTube, and if you want to be in the know of all the guests that will be appearing on my show, then I invite you to become an Entertainment Now Facebook fan. I promise you, I will always accept. I have an amazing show continuing for you. Right now, I am so honored and excited to have the lead singer of Lakeside. He was the original lead singer of Lakeside, and Ricky Abernathy, who is also going to be releasing a CD and has been performing a celebration of legends. I don't know if you caught it. It was back, I believe, in June or July in LA, but it's just an amazing dedication to a number of artists, wonderful artists that we have lost. And I don't want to hold him any longer because I want to talk to him more about that and the CD. So right now, joining me on the phone is the lead singer of Lakeside, Ricky Abernathy. Ricky, it is such an honor to have you on the show. How are you?
I'm fine, and it's an honor to be on the show. It's an honor that somebody remembers an old guy like me.
Oh, my goodness. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? I was raised with you. I was born in the late 60s, but you know something? We had the music in there, and you actually, as I said, everybody knows that you are the lead singer of the Lakeside, the Ohio group, the Lakeside. And, they in the 80s had the hit Fantastic Voyage, and I remember that. But your voyage with the group started in the late 60s, lasting to the mid-70s. You had quite a run. You were performing with other band members, Brian Marbury, Tony White, Vincent Beavers, and Terry Williams, correct?
Yes, that's the original.
How old were you when you started in school?
Oh, I think we were young kids in grade school, doing the local talent shows, trying to be popular. And one day we decided we needed a name, so we gave ourselves a name. And some of the original members of the Ohio Players said, you young kids are good, but you need a name. So we decided to give ourselves a name. And that's how it all started, People started to play and learn to play instruments. Some of us continued to sing, write, whatever. But our intention was never to make a record. We were stage performers. We always wanted to be in front of people. That's where we came from. Until we moved to Los Angeles. We made that move to L.A.
And what was that like for you and being on the road? Because as I said, you were part of that band from the late 60s to the mid 70s. Lots of changes through those times, as we all know. So how was the reception at first? I mean, was this something that you were like, wow, I'm glad I did this, or it was a dose of reality?
No, I'm glad we did it. It was a spur of the moment decision. We just decided, hey, let's get out of Dayton, let's go to L.A. We didn't know where we were going. We didn't know about Los Angeles. We didn't know anything about the city. We just said, let's go. We know that a lot of people came here seeking fame and fortune, so we decided to give it a try. But we did have confidence. We knew we were good, and we knew that all it would take is for someone to see us, the right door to open, and we'd be fine. And it happened that way. A lot of people saw us, and they thought we were great. We got our first record deal at Motown Records in Los Angeles, which was okay, but see, we had a love for the art then. We had a love for what we were doing. And when the record business got involved, it turned into business, and somehow the love dissipated, and it turned into business. Everybody wanted to be the writer. Everybody wanted to be the contractor for the group. We were looking for positions. We forgot about the love.
Wow.
And that's where the separation came. We had different views. They went on to Solar. I stayed at Motown for a while. Got a lot of good tutelage from good producers there. And the rest is we just went our separate ways. They accomplished some things. I accomplished some things, but I wasn't in the spotlight. But I did a few things, and I was happy for them.
Right.
But that's like family. That group is like family. I love them, and I hope they still love me.
Oh, I'm sure that they do. I was just going to say, I'm sure it's bittersweet, and especially after you've been performing for so long on the stage, and then for everybody to go their ways. When you hear of that, who also mourns with you are your fans.
Yeah.
Because they followed you for so long. But you have really been, taking the path that you felt, and all of you, I'm sure, felt that was the best for you all, correct?
Well, I did, and they did. The group that we had, we were more like balladeers, real singers, and the path they took was more like a band situation, and I don't put that down because it turned out actually pretty good. But me, myself, I was more like a Peabo Bryson, Donny Hathaway, that type of singer. And I wanted to make those kind of records. And they got an opportunity to do, dance music and funk music. And, they took advantage of that. There's no regrets.
Right.
No regrets. I celebrate them. I'm happy for them.
That's amazing. You know what? As Lakeside was the original, it's a funk band. And as I said, with the music that has changed over the years, you still have been performing and dedicating, as I said at the beginning of the show, a celebration of legends. And I'm just blown away. And I also wanted to take the time, if you're tuning in right now, you are listening to Gail Scott Key's Entertainment Now on the brand new Tap the Mic radio network. And I'm joined by Rick Abernathy, who is the original lead singer of Lakeside. And as we have been talking, Ricky, it has been amazing because you also, fast forward, are currently being booked by One Agency, a mutual friend of ours, Window Opportunity Network. And how did that come to be? Because you're amazing, so I know Cliff was, I'm sure, tickled pink to be able to be working with you.
Yeah. Well, in my hometown, I went back to visit some family, and I was asked to do a show there because my family hasn't, family and friends, they've never seen me perform since I was with Lakeside. So someone said, hey, why don't you do a show here? So I did a track show, and that came out really nice because I never did track shows in my life. It's always been with a band. But it turned out really nice, and some of it was placed on Facebook and YouTube, and people saw it. And, I got responses from it. People that wanted, hey, what are you doing now? And I told them about my To Celebrate a Legend show. And first it was just a heartfelt idea that I had. I miss a Luther Vandross concert. I miss a Marvin Gaye, Teddy Pendergrass concert. I miss those. And some friends and myself, we got together and said, hey, man, why don't we just do some songs by them, man? What would we call it? I said, well, let's call it Celebrate a Legend, man. Well, let's just do songs by deceased artists, people that we love and miss, people that gave us, you know, themselves. They gave us great ideas. They gave us good times in our lives. Let's just do that.
Right.
You know, we call ourselves the stars that didn't shine because I'm working with a host of people that should have been stars themselves, you know. But a lot of us didn't make it to the finish line. Well, you know, we're trying to get there. But you know, the beauty is, Gail, I came in this having fun, and I want to go out of this having fun. On stage, having fun. And I'm still writing, creating, you know, recording, passion.
Yes.
You know, taking my creations from my mind to my heart to out there for the people to hear.
Well, you know something, I just had on Pepe Willie, who you know is the former mentor and producer of Prince, and he came on with one of his artists, Gabriel. And, you know, we were talking about how the music has changed over the years, and the thing is that you are a star because here's the thing, you keep it real, and I actually shared the video of you performing, and I'm telling you, for you guys out there who always are friending or on my Facebook, you have got to click on and you have got to listen to Ricky Abernathy. I mean,
thank you, Gail.
Your soul, it gave me the chills. I am not lying.
That's encouraging to me.
You know, you know what it is that you can listen, and this is what I talked to Pepe about and Gabriel. On YouTube, everybody wants to be a star. It's almost like a dime a dozen. There are some really great, amazing artists, don't get me wrong, but there are some who just want to get out there. You keep that legendary memories of the greats. I mean, Teddy Pendergrass. I remember looking at the record.
It's so important to do that. You know, I started this thing off. I went and got all the juniors of those artists at first and tried to put together a show with them. But you know, everybody wanted to be the front man. Everybody wanted to be the star. So I'm like, okay, this is not going to work. There's too many egos there. You know, because they're just like their fathers, is what I found out. So I figured, okay, I'll just do this myself. What I'm doing is I'm just doing a lot of material, but I'm doing it my way. I tell everybody it's not a tribute. I'm doing a celebration. You know, I'm not going to try to sing a Barry White song like Barry White. I'm going to do it my way, you know, and that's what I'm doing. And it's getting rave reviews. People are loving it.
Yes.
So we're just looking for support to keep it going now. That's all.
Well, I know that One Agency is going to be taking care of that, and we certainly have you covered here with Entertainment Now. So we're looking forward to that. And we're going to take a quick break, Ricky. I hate to do these, but I do want you to stick around because when we come back, we are going to talk about your plans of a new release for a CD, and we're pretty excited about it. So we're looking forward to talking about that. And don't you go anywhere.
Inspired women's footwear from Isola. Isola is a luxe collection of elegant, distinctive footwear for the modern woman, inspired by the finest things in life with intricate details, lavish materials, and sumptuous comfort. Isola's refined artistry and impeccable styling are perfectly suited to the discerning woman who knows that exquisite doesn't have to mean extravagant. Isola is spelled with an I, and the style of your life in sandals, wedges, heels, flats, pumps, or boots, with all styles on sale now at isolashoes.com. Look for Isola Shoes on Facebook, Twitter, or Pinterest. And of course, isolashoes.com. That's ISOLA shoes.com. isolashoes.com.
Can I talk to you for a second? You got a lot to talk about. Yeah, I hear you. Your voice carries.
You're listening to Tap the Mic Radio Network.
And now, back with your host, Gail Scott Key.
And I am joined by legendary lead singer of Lakeside, Ricky Abernathy. And Ricky, before the break, we were talking about the fact of the performances, the celebrations that you've had, a celebration of legends, of great, great artists who have sadly passed.
Yes.
And what you are doing now, you have joined now with One Agency, who has been booking you, and they are extremely excited. I know that. And you have a new CD that you're working on that you're going to be releasing soon. Is that something you can share with us? Because we'll be excited to hear it.
Absolutely. Because, nowadays records, people aren't buying records, but I'm still making them. You know, that's my passion. I have a single out called Don't Change while we're working on, you know, other material. And what I'm doing is I'm weaving that into my show to celebrate a legend. I'm trying those songs out on my audiences, and they love it. I mean, when I listen to the songs myself, not to toot my own horn, but it's great R&B stuff. And I have a lot more. You know, my friends and I, we get together and, you know, we write, we produce, and we have a extensive catalog. But we just look at it because we like, how do we market this music? You know, I don't know. I don't care. You know what I mean? Just get on stage. Let's do this stuff. You know, let's get back to the love like we did before when we were young, man, when we were kids, man, when we came out, man. Get the business out of our heads. All that'll come. Right. Let's just have some fun, entertaining. And that's why I invite people out to celebrate those legends with us, to keep those legacies alive. It's important to me. Like I told you, Gail, it was heartfelt from the start. I never wanted to do it, but a friend of mine said, man, we should do a show like that. So I'm like, okay. Let's get some people to do it. They said, no, Ricky, you just sing them yourself. Just do it yourself. Well, I can't sing like Luther Vandross. I can't sing like, you don't sing like him. That's what we don't want you to do. We want you to do Ricky Abernathy. Yep. So that's what I'm doing.
You make
I'm
a
inviting
great
people.
point. You make a great point. And for the listeners, I know that a lot of listeners, they'll almost treat me as if I was a manager, and they'll just like, could you listen to this? Could you listen to that? When people like Ricky Abernathy, who are the legends, are the people who you should be listening to. And that's why I'd like to repeat again, be yourself. And that's why, because people get to see your passion, what inspired you because of that artist. It comes through. It's like translation.
And also, not to give the younger generation, not to say anything better, because I love them. I love they making great music, you know, but it's not like what we did. And I want them to not forget where you came from, where all this came from. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It started somewhere. I mean, reach out and grab an OG or grab somebody legendary and pull them up and help them, because there's enough room in the industry for everybody.
Yes.
You know, I have a friend, Charlie Wilson. He's a friend of mine. Yeah. You know how people, Snoop Dogg, we reached and got him. Hey, man, let's help these guys come back to the work. You know, they started this.
Right.
You know, just because they're going to see that the kids up under them, they're going to be appealing to them one day. Could you help me get back?
Right.
Yeah, it happens.
Well, you
just
know
like
something?
That.
You make a great point. You make a great point, but I'm really curious because of the fact, you know, with the music that you've created and the dedication, it's a lot easier. It's gone all techno. Is that been a tough transition for you, especially when you're still creating with the legendary artists that you're celebrating? What has that been like a difference for you? And if it has, how much so has it been a difference?
It's been a difference because of the transition of music, the way it's changed, the way the industry changed. You know, when you listen to the rotations on the radio, you hear the same thing all day, or it's like I'm listening to the same song all day, and only maybe one or two artists are actually selling records. You know, everybody else has to perform. So it was a transition, but it didn't dishearten me. I'm going to keep doing what I do until the coffin drops. You know, I'm just going to keep on making beautiful music because there's somebody that wants to hear it. But there has to be an outlet. There has to be an avenue. And that's what we appeal to people. Go out and see these OG artists. Go out and see, you know, some of these R&B artists. Go and see them. Because I know I have I had hip-hop artists and rap artists myself signed to me before. And do you know that they love R&B music? They love R&B music. Oh, yeah. I had singers that sing hooks. They've been like, man, could you teach me how to sing like you? You know, so they love it. It's just, it has to be an avenue, an outlet. And shows like yourself, like the show that you have, I mean, we need those type of outlets to let them know that people are still out there doing it. We're not gone.
That's right.
We're not gone. We're still here trying to do it.
I am so honored, and I was so excited when I found out that I was going to be interviewing you because, as I said, as a young girl, I remember listening to your music and growing up with it. And, you know, the time, I loved being in those times. It's almost like I wish I could have been in those times, born in those times, because it really had a truer essence. And, you know, I remember I wanted to be in music myself. And I was like, okay, because I remember visiting the Berklee College of Music in Boston. And then I said, you have to have a really, really good voice, which you do. And I know we have a few minutes coming up. Unfortunately, it always goes that way with the half hour, but I know I'm going to have you back. But Ricky, I have to say again, it has been a true honor. And I am inviting all of my listeners and your fans to please, you've got to check out the video. Now, are you still going to be performing a Celebration of Legends? And if so, when, where will that be? And also the release of your CD. Will we know the date?
Well, you'll know the date soon. Like you said, I'll be working closely with One Agency, which you're affiliated with. You know them. And they'll be letting you know everything. And I'm waiting on their lead. You know, I'm following suggestions these days.
Are you?
When you're the teacher, you've taught a long time. Sometimes it's time to sit back and learn some things too, because like you said, you know, the industry's changed. You know, and I'm in it. I still have a heart for it.
I love you. I love what you just said. That because you are such a legendary, iconic musician, and to say what you just said, that's amazing. I mean that. I really, I can't even tell you. It has been an honor. And I know for those of you at home who are tuning in, I'm going to be posting up more information for Ricky Abernathy, especially about the Celebration of Legends. And also, as he said, through One Agency, we will be talking about the release of his CD, Don't Change. I hope you never change, because it doesn't sound like you will. You're a true Blue to yourself, and that is awesome.
Gail, I want to say one final thing. I have a grandson. He's 5 years old, and he has rhythm, and he sings after me, and he does everything. And I was looking at him one day. I was like, one day, Drake is going to be an OG to him.
Oh, my goodness, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So watch out, y'all.
True.
Respect the game. Respect the game.
Right.
It was a pleasure talking to you, dear.
Oh, it is such a pleasure, and I promise I want to have you come back on, especially with the release of your CD, and it has been an honor. I can't even tell you. I can tell you this. My father, my late father, it's been 2 years who passed, he also was a huge fan of yours and all of the legendary greats that I have been blessed to have on the show, so it is really an honor to have you on the show. And for those of you at home who have been tuning in, I have been speaking with the original lead singer of the Ohio Lakeside Band, Ricky Abernathy. You have got to check him out. I know he's on Facebook. And are there any other websites that I do not want to make sure that I don't miss for people to tune in and follow you as well?
Well, everything I've done, I've put it on Facebook. And I tore everything down. I'm building it back up, except for some things I had on that are heartfelt. I was working with the group Side Effect until one of the members passed away. Augie Johnson passed away. So since then, I've moved on, and I'm just getting ready, about to rebuild everything.
Well,
starting right here with you.
Oh, bless your heart.
Right from the start, I truly adored you, 'cause you stole my heart like no one else could ever do. There's just something about you that makes me crazy about you. Is it your eyes, or is it that smile so beautiful? There's so much more to you than what shows on the outside. It only adds to who you are on the inside. You got a heart of gold. I must say that you've been blessed, 'cause out of all of God's creations, baby, you're truly one of his best. Don't change. Don't change. Oh no. Don't change. You're a bright shining star. Yes you are. Perfect just like ooh, baby, yes you are. Don't change. Don't change. Oh no. Don't change. Baby don't change. You're the very definition of a woman. You're everything that she should wanna be. The way you carry yourself in such a special way. Watching you makes my day. Everyone thinks you're so mysterious. Oh, baby, but they don't know you.
They're just curious. With a heart of gold, I must say that you've been blessed. 'Cause out of all of God's creations, baby, you're truly one of his best. Don't change, baby. You're a bright, you don't have to change, not a single thing. You're perfect just like you are. Don't change, baby, don't change. I never imagined, not in this lifetime, that someone like you would be on my mind. Like my dream come true, and I wanna thank you for being you. Don't change, you're a bright shining star, baby, just the way you don't have to change. Don't change, not one little thing, baby. Don't change, baby, don't change. So perfect. Don't change, perfect just the way you are. Don't change, no, baby, don't change, baby, don't change, don't change.
Thank you, because I am very honored to have you. And again, I have been speaking with the original lead singer of Lakeside, Ricky Abernathy. Thank you so much for joining me. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart, you are amazing, and I love your music.
Likewise. Thank you so much, Gail.
Thank you. And for those of you who are listening in, don't forget you can tune in and you can listen to Gail Scott Key's Entertainment Now every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and on Saturdays we do it all again at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. I hope you all will tune in next week as we'll have more for you on Gail Scott Key's Entertainment Now on the brand new Tap the Mic Radio Network.
You've been listening to Gail Scott Key's Entertainment Now, brought to you in part by Isola, inspired women's footwear. Isola's collections are perfectly suited to the discerning woman seeking exquisite design. Visit the website at isolashoes.com, ISOLA shoes.com. Tune in to Gail Scott Key's Entertainment Now Thursdays at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and Saturdays at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern on the Tap the Mic Radio Network. You can also hear the show on Blog Talk Radio and YouTube. Visit and like us on Facebook and tweet Gail at Diva, the number 4, YOY. I'm Dorian J. Thanks for listening.